What's up? It's Coach Vassar. Thank you for joining me for the OTF Audio Daily Beats. If you're new to these, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to kind of discuss what's going on with the workout for the day. Of course, any feedback, love to hear it. Let me know what you think, how I can improve, make it better for you, better experience. Of course, if you find value in these, information is in the description of the video of how to support me. Appreciate you for those who do. Once again, not mandatory, anything like that. Just buy me a coffee. It'll be great. Anyways, we're going to go over Saturday, November 2nd, and this is also going to repeat on Sunday, November 17th. Do a little overview, kind of break down the treads, rower weight floor, 3G discrepancies, things like that, and then get you on out of here. So we're going to see a strength on the treads, strength on the rower, and endurance on the weight floor day. When we're looking at it for the key concepts, the treadmills, we're going to see 3 blocks where you'll reach a push feeling a combination of incline and flat road. Each block, incline gets lower, so can you add more speed? For the rower, you're going to count your strokes during your all-out row, and your goal is to increase the distance, get the distance done in fewer strokes each round. And then for the floor block is all about supersets. So 2 exercises done back-to-back that hit the same muscle group. So we look at the treadmills, you got 6.5 minutes for each block, 3 of them, 90-second walk recovery between them. And the format's gonna be very similar. The call-outs here, we're gonna see the same pattern. Each 6.5 minute block starts with a 3-minute push. The first is a base climb, then a flat road with a push speed. After 2 minutes of base, you'll tackle a 45-second flat road push, and then add incline, which should feel like an all-out. Each block, incline drops, so challenge to increase speed as you go. So we look at block 1. They're gonna start with a 90-second base climb. Power walkers, they're gonna go 7% or greater, and then joggers and runners with their base speed, 5%. And then for the next 90 seconds to make that 3-minute push, as I talked about, is a regular flat road push. So they recommend power walkers 4% or greater, but they want the power walkers to increase their walk speed. So if hopefully they do actually drop their incline, but then add maybe 0.1 to 0.4 to their walk speed. So that way the level of effort feels relatively the same. Joggers and runners, of course, they'll drop it to flat road. And then for that 90-second push, think about 1 to maybe 1.5 over their base. So that way round to round, they could try to increase it. After that 3-minute combination flat road hill climb into flat road, they have 2 minutes of active recovery with their base. And then we're gonna see 90 seconds of work where the first 45 is that flat road push, followed by increase in the incline. So they say power walkers 6% or greater, joggers and runners, probably a little bit more aggressive than that 90-second push, but then they are gonna take their incline back up to 5% for the next 45 seconds. Power walkers, from 6% or greater, they're gonna take it actually to 10% or greater, like a true all out. So if they're holding, maybe for that 45-second push, joggers, runners, if they're like at 1 above their base or maybe 1.5 over the base, add in 4% to their incline is gonna feel very similar to like add in, about 0.8 to maybe 1 extra mile per hour. So if they are at 1 already over their base for the 45 push, it's gonna feel like maybe 1.8 to 2 over their base during that next 45-second push climb. So it definitely kind of instigates that very uncomfortable feeling like an all-out. Blocks 2 and 3 are gonna be set up exactly the same, same time domains and everything. The only key difference though is the hill climbs are 1% less. So in block 1, they were at 5% for the 2 hills that they saw. In block 2, it's gonna be 4%. And power walkers, they're going down as well. So that first base climb, it's gonna be at 6% or greater instead of 7. And then when they hit the 3rd block, same idea, 1% less. So base climb is gonna be at 3%, and then for power walkers, it's at 5% or greater. So hopefully when they go into that flat road push on the other side, they are able to increase the intensity when they go through that. As far as the bikes and striders, they wanna do about 3 minutes of a push gear, and then 2 minutes at base, and then 45 seconds of a push gear into 45 seconds of an all-out gear. So for that first round, maybe they keep it about 3 gears over base for that 3-minute push. They go to flat road, and then it'll be 3 and 6. The next block, Maybe they do 3 to 4 gears over base for that 3-minute push. And then the same thing for the next one, maybe 4 or 5 gears over their base for that 3-minute push. And then that quick 45-second push, they could, do 3, then 4, then 5 from blocks 1, 2, and 3. So a couple ways to kind of mix it up for them. You could also kind of view it in the idea of a jogger or runner as well, where maybe they do drop or they maintain the gear, but they increase RPM, so they get that similar speed up effect of block to block. Of course, if they increase gear, wattage will go up, and that's kind of the metrics that we are using for the bikes anyways, is see that change in wattage to elicit that uncomfortable to very uncomfortable feeling. So they got 3 blocks over there. That's it. On the weight floor, they're going to see one longer block with just weight floor stuff, and then a second block where they'll bounce between the rower and some dumbbell stuff. So we're looking at block 1 as the call out here. It's some back-to-back supersets. So they're going to do 2 movements that target the same muscle group. We're going to see chest, back, biceps, and core. And then in block 2, they're going to have dumbbells over at the rower while they do an exercise into their strength-based all-out row. And they want to count their strokes. So we look at block 1 for the floor. We're going to be using the incline position for the bench. They have incline chest flies for 10 reps, and then as many reps as possible of the incline chest press. From there, they rest. Then they go into a new movement that we are going to see. It's called the strap clutch curl. So for this exercise, they're actually going to start with the knuckles drawn into their chest. The elbows are out, and then they're going to lower themselves down, and then using the biceps, they're going to pull themselves back up, bringing the knuckles back to their chest, almost like, a gorilla beating on their chest, or if you're trying to like pull someone into you. So very different movement than a row, because once again, it's in the name, it's a curl. So they should be emphasizing the biceps for that movement. From 10 reps there, they go straight into a bridge row, as many reps as possible. So true burnout, working on that endurance. And then for the core, they're going to see 10 reps of a dead bug paired into as many reps of a hollow rock. Now, the hollow rock is something that we really don't do too often at OTF, but it's a truly tough core exercise, kind of found with gymnastics movements. The analogy I like to use is, do your best banana impression. So you have a slight little curve, from your fingertips, through your shoulders, through your lower back, through your heels, and then you just kind of rock up and down through that. So we're trying to keep the midline tight as they go back and forth. There should not be any bend in the hips to create that momentum. So we don't want to see them do this and then drop the legs and then pull the feet up, but everything moves together back and forth there. For that movement specifically, you could pair it up where from the dead bug, they could do into like the same side dead bug press. So they do the regular dead bug for 10, and then they try to recruit the abs, and then they do the same side dead bug. That's another way to kind of mix it up. Options that they call out is for the dead bug to do bird dogs, and then for the hollow rock, they could do a bodyweight crunch. So a couple ways to kind of, mix it up, whether it's an isometric hold like the hollow rock or actual flexion with the sit-up. So they're going to see those 3 movements, rest after, or those 3 pairs, rest after each pair, rinse and repeat for 14.5 minutes. After that, they're going to do the row block, and they want to bring a set of dumbbells over to the floor. They're going to see a split squat to hammer curl. So they want to think about a lighter weight dumbbell that they could do for about 12 reps of a hammer curl. They're going to do that split squat into a hammer curl, 6 on one side, 6 on the other. And then they're trying to complete their 150 meter row in less strokes or fewer strokes every round. So even though it's an all-out effort, ideally they're going to be more on that lower end of stroke rate. So the all-out is from the leg drive rather than them moving back and forth really quick. So if they could keep their stroke rate maybe 20 to 22 strokes per minute, explode back hard, try to get triple-digit watts on the way back. They take their time to kind of load back up, let the water slow down, and then resist that water and explode back again. Ideally, maybe 12 to 15 strokes at most to complete the 150, and then they'll rest. So they'll do the dumbbell, they'll row, they rest, just like in block 1 on the floor. It's all about the back-to-backs. For 6.5 minutes, they'll probably only get 2, maybe 3 attempts of at least the dumbbell movement. For sure, 2, very unlikely 3 attempts of that all-out row. They do finish with a 45-second all out there. Same idea, like if you want to keep it strength focused 45-second all out, they could do that. Or if you want them to kind of uncap their stroke rate and just kind of focus on explosive power, definitely go for it there. Now, they don't have any true call outs in terms of the stroke rate itself. So, use your own judgment as a coach to kind of set them up for success on that. I will say though, when we look at the 3G, there is a recommended stroke rate for these strength blocks. So they do say 24 to 26. So if you want to keep that consistency for the day of coaching, definitely use that. Looking at the 3G here, so we're going to see just 2 blocks on the treads, 3 blocks on the rower, and then 1 big block on the weight floor. So going over the treadmills, it's gonna be the exact same setup for 6.5 minutes. They'll have that 3-minute push effort, 2 minutes at flat road base, and then 90 seconds to finish up with a flat road push into a push hill climb to get that very uncomfortable feeling. Looking at the inclines, this is a direct comparison on the 2G. So block 1 is block 1 for the 2G, but block 2 is going to be the last block from the 2G. So they're going to do the 5% and the 3%. When we look at the rowers, 3 blocks here. The first block is only 3 minutes. It is a 3-minute row for distance, but the goal is to keep their stroke rate 24 to 26 the entire time. So knowing that, they are looking for, 72 to 78 total strokes in those 3 minutes. The first 20, 30 seconds though, it's really where they're trying to find their rhythm and then kind of level out and keep it smooth and keep it consistent. When we look at the second block, this is gonna be a little bit longer. They're gonna have 8 minutes here. They're gonna be doing 2 med ball exercises back to back into 150 meter row. And the goal there is to actually choose their own intensity. So it's not a push row, it's not an all out, just 150 row, but 24 to 28 strokes per minute. Main thing here is just keep going. Do both things, take rest, and then do them again. With 8 minutes, they should probably get about 3 sets here. And then the third block, they are looking to get about half or more than half of block 1's distance, because it's gonna be a 90-second block here. They're gonna start with 24 to 26 strokes per minute for a 45-second push row, and then they go right into a 45-second all-out row. They don't have that same stroke rate in the actual part of it, but in the goal section of the template, they still say maintain. So even during the all-out, keep it 24 to 26. Weight floor is going to be the block 1 from the 2G. So you'll see the same 3 back-to-backs with the incline chest fly paired up with the chest press. Clutch curl paired with the bridge row, and then the dead bug paired with the hollow rocks. For the finisher, they will get to choose between any of the AMRAP movements that they want to do for the final 45 seconds. So that's going to be your November 2nd, November 17th workout. Once again, got some strength on the treads, strength on the rower, endurance on the weight floor. We're going to see some new movements moving into November. So if you haven't done so already, definitely look on the exercise library. I know for a few of these new movements, when you look at the library, you'll have the video of the movement itself, but below that, there is the potential to see about a 1 minute to maybe a 90-second setup video from the TRX trainer that was at Momentum 2024. So definitely look into that. That is going to be a good way to kind of get some setup cues, but also learn how to, target the muscles correctly that we're trying to target with these, as well be able to see, someone else get positioned up and then see how they move with it. If you can, obviously before class, play around with these movements so you know how they feel, how they experience, learn how to best set it up for yourself and for your members. Other than that, any feedback, as always, please let me know. Otherwise, coach it down.